on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. By your local Ford dealers. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Cellular. The official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular. Built for us. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with a Hy-Vee Perks membership. Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit midamericanenergy.com for electrical safety tips. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Visit MidwestOne.bank for empowered money management. Member FDIC. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Oh, it's Iowa State Week. How you doing, everybody? The Cy-Hawk Series features Hawkeye men's and women's basketball with a little swimming and diving thrown in as well this week. The Cyclones come to town Wednesday and Thursday. Coach Jan Jensen's team, as you just heard, will host the Cyclones at 8 o'clock Wednesday evening over at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Rob Brooks will kick things off with Tiffany, a 7:30 pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. The Hawkeye men host the Cyclones Thursday at a little bit of an oddity start time, 6:30. That's fine with me. The earlier the better. Our pregame coverage will begin at 5:30. Saturday at Michigan, Price Sanford's last-second jump shot was well guarded and ricocheted off the front of the rim, and the Hawkeyes fell to the Michigan Wolverines 85-83. So Iowa has split its first two early December Big Ten games, and I think that's notable in a positive way. The Hawks are 7-2 overall. Iowa played a clean game with a season-low 4 turnovers, but got down early 20-6, hitting just 3 of its first 16 attempts. Michigan featuring a pair of 7-footers. And let me tell you, they got some tall timber. They got the ball inside for easy baskets. The Hawks were outscored in the paint 54-32, but scratched back to within 3 at halftime and actually had a 3-point lead early in the second half. And it was back and forth right to the very end. Iowa's Owen Freeman was called for goaltending with 3 seconds remaining, and that put Michigan in front by 2, setting up Price's attempt at a buzzer beater. He let a tough angle shot go with a defender all over him, and it was off the mark, and the Hawks lose it by 2. We'll break that down tonight. Talk about the past week, the electrifying victory over Northwestern, and the tough loss on the road, as it always is tough in the Big Ten at the University of Michigan. I'm Gary Dolphin, joined by former Hawkeye great Bobby Hansen. As always, Coach McCaffery will be here shortly. Our guest player tonight is Price Sanford, who had a heck of a game. He really was the spark plug off the bench. Iowa's bench had a great day in general. Price Sanford had a wonderful day in particular with 16 points, but he was so much better than just scoring the basketball. But first, I want to bring my partner in here, Bobby. I thought a gallant effort. I mean, getting down 14, they were down by 16 in the first half, and made a game out of it from like the 5-minute mark in the first half right down to the bitter end.
Yeah, it really was, Gary. The game did not get off to a good start for the Hawkeyes, and they were just pounding it inside there to the big guy driving to the basket, getting some easy ones. But the Hawks righted the ship. We got the foul trouble. 4 guys had 2 fouls in the first half. Fran had to use guys that probably wasn't ready to use in that early in the game yet, but they all did a really good job. They held the line for the Hawkeyes there, really got the Hawks righted back into the game. I'm thinking of Riley Mulvey, Drew Thelwell, Price. Obviously, Evan Bruns was put in there, Chris Taggio. So everybody got their feet wet on the road there. The first true road game for the Hawkeyes. And Dusty May, the new coach there, a whole bunch of new players. They had pretty much a full house there at the old Chrysler Arena. looked good. So it was a great atmosphere on that Saturday afternoon for Big Ten basketball, but proud of the Hawkeyes, the way they battled back. And my friends of mine are Michigan people, and they're like, what do you think? I said, Hawks going to hit a buzzer beater again in this game. They almost did, so almost prophetic. But it didn't go down, but 1-1 right now, and now the big week with the Cyclones.
Price Sanford played, it's got to be a career high for him, almost 29 minutes. He has 16 points, couple rebounds, an assist, no turnovers and 2 steals. Now, we're talking about a 6'6", 6'7" guy that handled the basketball a lot in reserve on Saturday. And I think, Bobby, he may not have come totally of age, but he certainly took a giant step forward on Saturday.
Yeah, he proved his worth, proved his value to this basketball team. And it's got to be a lot of fun for him to play with his brother. I like when Peyton and Price are in there together. They pass the ball. They got obviously the chemistry that you can't make up. This is something that been their whole life together. So yeah, he proved his value for the Hawks. And when he's shooting the ball, it's just another huge weapon. And he's got great length. He's a willing defender. Tries to get out there and do what he can. Good anticipation in the 1-2-1-1 press. The Hawks got the steals. They turned them over 17 times. Michigan did. Michigan is prone to turnovers, and the Hawks made them pay. So they knew they were in a battle there. The Wolverines did when we left Ann Arbor on that Saturday afternoon, and I think we get them back here in Iowa City, don't we? Or
no, I think it's a one and done this year. They came here last year.
Okay.
I was looking at on the post-game show Saturday. I was looking for another Michigan return battle, but there's not one on the schedule, so we'll assume they're not coming to Iowa City. Big Ten tournament, perhaps, yes. Price with 16 points. How about Drew Thelwell?
Yeah.
10 points, 2 assists, no turnovers, and he was running the point. That heavy Michigan pressure, he had a steal. The Iowa bench outscored Michigan's bench by 14, and Iowa had 17 more points off turnovers. They did a lot of things well, Bobby, other than win the game.
Yeah, to your point of Drew Thelwell, yeah, what a valuable player he is. The pickup in the transfer portal, he comes in, and he's a veteran, obviously. Nothing rattles that young kid, and love the way he plays, love to watch him play. He was 5 of 10, as you mentioned, from the floor. A couple assists, no turnovers, had a steal. He matches quickness with quickness right there, and he has one speed, Gary, and that's full speed ahead.
Unfortunately, Owen Freeman picked up 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes to start the game. One was a ridiculous call.
Yep.
The other one was legitimate. But it's he has a propensity to get in early foul trouble. And the Hawks have to have him on the floor.
Well, the first one, you mentioned ridiculous. Yeah, it's like he got fouled in with his chin or something. Picture that I saw, the guy's head crashed right in, and Vlad Golden's head.
The guy's back in the dribble into the lane. Yeah. He stumbles, falls into Owen, who goes down, and they call the blocking foul on Owen.
Should have been a travel.
Should have been a lot of things other than a foul on Owen.
Yeah,
Freeman.
But that one set him back, and then 2 seconds later, he picks up one just out of frustration.
He's frustrated, and that's who he is. He plays with such a big heart. But he gets in trouble like that. So he played 2 minutes in the first half, ended up playing 19 total minutes. And they've got 2 7-footers, another 6'9" and a 6'10" guy. Owen, we were talking to him on the plane ride home, and he was still chin down off his shoe tops. He was so frustrated and upset. I said, hang in there, man. You'll get better. You'll get better at recognizing those situations. I said, they're coming after you. They're trying to get you in foul trouble.
Yeah, they know how valuable he is, no doubt, Gary. But awesome kid. Enjoy any time spent with any of these kids. Yeah, they're just articulate and inquisitive and smart and bright and talented is what they are. But, the goaltending call, too, I think Owen blocked that ball before it got up to the rim and kind of blocked it up. So, I don't know. That's a tough call. They looked at it for a long time. And
they did.
Unfortunately, didn't go the Hawkeye way.
I looked at 4 reviews from different angles, and I was still scratching my head. I thought he maybe slapped the rim while the ball was
he
up
said
there
no.
bobbling around, but he said he didn't. The replay clearly shows he didn't. But, as the ball's going up to the glass, he bangs it off the fiberglass, off the square, and it was a delayed call. It was a delayed goaltending call. And, one play doesn't make a game.
I don't know who made the call, Gary, because our broadcast position, where we're at up there, but it looked like the underneath referee.
It was the underneath
the call. It's like, that's supposed to be made by the outside referee out there in the half-court area. He's got a better view of it, I think.
Well, he's looking through the back of the square. He's on the baseline. So he saw that big paw coming forward and smacking the leather off the glass. Who knows? The bottom line is we move on. Peyton Sanford's 18 points led the Hawkeyes, which is incredible considering he started 0 for 9. I don't know that Peyton in Pee Wee League ever went 0 for 9 before he got his first basket. But he really rallied latter stages of the first half, especially in the second half. And he whacked those threes late in the game to get it tied.
Yeah, he certainly did there. He hit one and made it 81-78, I see here. And then he hit the tie one there at 83. So he's a big-time player. He was frustrated at halftime. Saw him at halftime when I talked to Coach Eldridge, who had the scout. We get the tape-recorded comments from Courtney, and the kids are coming out and just kind of looked at him and like, okay, second half, man, second half, get her going here. So he smiled, and he went out and did what he does. And that's lead this basketball team. So that's not easy to do, Gary. Human nature is to get down and, lament and worry about it. But you got to forget it. You got to have a short memory in sports and athletics and even in life. You got to have that short memory. So, but they battled, man. I'm telling you, I was proud of them, and I thought they had maybe got that game won when they got to 83-all.
Josh Dix with 16 points and a team-leading 7 rebounds. And so it was a balanced attack, but Bobby, the Hawks got outboarded by 15. And in this league, at this level, you get beat. If you get beat by 15 rebounds, it's going to be a tough night, no matter what else you do. And Fran McCaffery knows that. And we were talking about rebounding. We have been talking about rebounding all this season. We've been talking about a lot the last couple of weeks since they've lost Cooper Koch to illness and Seydou Traoré to a badly sprained ankle. I mean, those are two killers right there. Hopefully they get Traoré back for the Cyclones.
Yeah, definitely both those kids would be real helpful on that front line there for the Hawkeyes, getting some athleticism and some toughness in there as well to add it to what we have there. But we'll see. And, Josh Dix back to his line there. Gary played almost the entire game. Peyton Sanford, 38 minutes. Josh, 37 minutes. The kid just keeps getting better and better. He's a rebounder. He's a defender. Good passer. He doesn't turn it over. And obviously an outstanding shooter. And that shot he made against Northwestern, it's still fresh in my memory. And what a great shot that was.
Sure was. We'll talk with Coach more about that when he arrives, about that victory over Northwestern on Tuesday night. Great basketball game to be in attendance. We certainly enjoyed the call. But now here come the fifth-ranked Cyclones. At least they were fifth-ranked this morning. I don't know. They're up to number 3. Oh, wonderful.
I thought they'd be number 1.
Well, you know what? I don't. Who's better than
Auburn,
the Cyclones?
maybe.
Yeah, well, Auburn
beat them in Maui.
Caught them at the end out at Maui, which was, 3-4 weeks ago. But Iowa State had a big lead in that game, and Bruce Pearl's team came back to nip them at the buzzer. But, Kansas knocked off now back-to-back games by Creighton and Missouri this weekend. So here come the third-ranked Cyclones at 7-1, fresh off a 100-58 pounding of Jackson State yesterday at Hilton. Curtis Jones knocked down 19 points. Milan Mansilovic added 18. Center Deshaun Jackson had 17 for the Cyclones. They can score in a lot of ways. Tip-off at 6:30 Thursday night in Carver. 5:30 for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And we'll break it all down for you here in the next hour and 15 minutes. First want to tell you we're at the beautifully remodeled, the gorgeous Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. There's a festive air here at the Hyatt in Coralville in anticipation for their annual Breakfast with Santa coming up December 14th. Their family-friendly holiday breakfast includes a photo with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So youngsters 10 and 55 can come on out and enjoy a holiday photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. They'll have a holiday craft show, everyone's favorite breakfast foods. You can grab your tickets from the Hyatt Regency Coralville Facebook page or just call them at 319-688-4028, 319-688-4028, and get your reservations in for Breakfast with Santa on December 14th. Our program is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, as a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and strolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us. We'll step out, take our first break. Of course, this is the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. A little bit later on, we'll talk with Ralph Lentz. Ralph is the president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board, the Iowa Corn Producers. He farms several hundred acres just north of Greenfield, where they had that devastating tornado this past spring. I believe it was in May, if memory serves me correct. And Ralph says they're on the rebound over there in Adair County, and that's great to hear. And if you're in Adair County, Sioux City, Decorah, Burlington, or Red Oak, you can reach Coach McCaffery on tonight's show on Hawk Talk here from the Hyatt Regency. A number of ways you can text us, you can tweet us, you can email us, you can jump on Twitter, Facebook, U.S. Cellular text line. Here's the way to do that. You can reach us on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. The U.S. Cellular text line is open at 319-853-8344. 319-853-8344. Or email your question at hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. If you're here in the live audience, you want to ask Coach a question, just come on up and let us know what it is. We'll jot it down and get it to Coach when he arrives. All right, we got Price Sanford on deck. He'll join us next. Price with an outstanding effort at Michigan on Saturday. He gets better with age and certainly game by game. One other game in the Big Ten tonight. Indiana leads Minnesota with 5 minutes to go in that game. We'll update you on that score when we come back. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield and the Hyatt Regency.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffery. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
People are having a hard time containing their excitement about the new Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery.
Holiday tickets? I love these!
Especially when they find out you can win part of over $1 million in second chance cash prizes when you enter any holiday ticket in the Iowa Lottery's VIP club.
$1 million? Woohoo!
Yes, woohoo indeed. Cash prizes are coming to town from the Iowa Lottery.
Woohoo!
See rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with these local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, located in the Des Moines area. Car Law, Community Choice Credit Union, and Royal Flooring. At Community Choice, it's simply a mortgage. No hoops to jump through or limbo sticks to go under. Just a straight, easy path from point A to point B. It takes less than 60 seconds to get started at unpackyourmortgage.com. Loan approval subject to credit score and analysis. See Credit Union for details. Equal opportunity lender.
I'm Nick Jackson. I play linebacker here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, I drop in coverage.
3rd down 11. Straight back to pass is Sullivan. He's running for his life. Down he goes. That's a loss of another 6. Nick Jackson.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Thank you all for coming out tonight. And certainly thank you for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And the Hyatt Regency is tastefully decorated. Gigantic tree out in the lobby, which they have every year. Matt and the crew here at the Hyatt invite you out for Christmas brunch, for holiday brunch, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got a great new menu here in the Watermill Grill and Bar, remodeled here in the last year or so. All the rooms have been remodeled. It is a wonderful place. If you have family coming into town for the holidays, make sure they stay here at the Hyatt Regency. Price Sanford joins us now on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We've been talking about Price and his 16-point effort on Saturday at Michigan. The sophomore from Hawkeyes, 6'7", biscuit over 210 pounds, getting bigger, getting stronger, and it showed Saturday. You logged 28, 29 minutes. That's got to be your high water mark.
Yeah, that was the high in the career for me. Yeah, so I definitely felt it the next day. Felt it during the game, but felt like I was in good shape to handle that load. So yeah.
Good week, buzzer beater against Northwestern. Had a chance to do it again against Michigan, but I'll give. I think was it Burnett who was on you. He had you covered pretty good. They're never going to call a foul in that situation, and you understand that.
Yeah, I get it. I figured. A lot of people are talking about I should have jumped into him, but I figured they wouldn't give me the call. So my best bet was to try and create enough space to get a shot off and just hope it went in. And thought it was good, but just came up a little short.
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea. You got to get a shot off. You can't let that thing go off in your hand there and with nothing left. You at least got to get it up there. And heck of an effort just to get it up there on the rim from our perspective up in the Crow's Nest where we were broadcasting. Yeah, take us to that play Coach designed.
Yeah, so it was, I was supposed to go to Peyton. I was supposed to catch it in the air, whip it to Peyton. But we didn't execute it well enough, I didn't think. Our timing wasn't down, so I caught it kind of fading back into the corner. Peyton, he might have been open, but I didn't think I could get it to him on time. So I just tried to, create enough space to get a shot off. I thought I was out of bounds maybe, but I just tried to get one up on the rim.
What'd they put back on the clock? I can't remember.
1 point.
So it was a little over.
It was 1.8.
1.8. 1.8 maybe.
1.8.
Yeah.
So you got a chance to catch, take a quick look, but you know what? You got to get rid of the ball. You got to get it up at that point. I thought Drew Thelwell made a heck of a throw from all the way across the floor to you in the near corner.
Yeah, that was a special pass. I didn't think he'd be able to get it over, and he told me today that he thought it was way short and it would have been picked off, but it was a great pass.
The defender had his back turned though.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it coming. Yeah, I don't think he. They switched it. I think on that screen over for me. So wasn't really open, even though he wasn't looking. He was still there, but Drew threw a really good pass. And so
it does illustrate how well the reserves. I mean, bench is bench, but Iowa has 8 or 9 starters that would be playing for other programs, but. It does illustrate how well the bench played Saturday. And on the road at Chrysler Arena, tough place to play, very admirable.
Yeah. Our bench was great. Me, Drew, and Riley, and Chris, and Evan, and Carter, we all got in there and made an impact. So, I was really proud of us, getting in there and providing a spark for the team.
Yeah, games like that, when everybody contributes something, it's got to give you that camaraderie, just kind of strengthens that bond between teammates, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Putting together an effort like that, especially when we got down so big early in the game and we just continued to fight, I thought it showed a lot about how gritty this team is and how close this team is to stay together in that tough stretch we had at the beginning of the game and continue to fight. And at the end, it just came down to one shot. So.
Yeah. You played a lot as a freshman, pure freshman last year. That's tough to do at this level. And Bobby and I witnessed your frustrations. I know you worked on your shooting much the way Brock Harding did in the offseason. But what have you learned from the first day you stepped on campus until now? What is it about basketball at this level?
Obviously, the speed and the strength of the game are completely different. And I think that kind of hit me last year. And that's why, you could see me struggling at some points. But overall, I'd really just say it's when you get in the game, you think you're the best player every single time. I think that's the biggest thing for me. You can't go out there hesitant or, just backing off guys, giving guys way too much respect. You got to think that you're the best player on the floor. then good things will happen.
When'd you get your start playing hoops? Obviously, Brother Peyton, you guys got to be out in the driveway, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know. There's baby pictures of me with a little mini ball shooting.
And your grandpa, yeah, he was an old coach, right?
Yeah. We have some. I don't even know. Like I just tell people like 3 to I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Really young. So that's.
I love talking with your family. I mean, they just love watching you guys, and the sacrifice that families give up, traveling over to Michigan and traveling to Iowa City in the weather and all that. I think it's one of the great parts of college sports. And always make a note to say hi to your dad. And you see Grandpa back in the tunnel in there. And your grandma's been giving me some tips. I've got a kind of a back problem, and she's been giving me some stretching exercises.
That sounds like Grandma. Yep.
And it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to my parents. They're at every single game. You know, home or road. They're flying out to Michigan, hustling back right after the game to try and catch their flight back home. And it really means a lot to me and Peyton and how big they were growing up.
Things you'll never forget, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And same with Grandpa. He's battling a knee surgery. He's getting to every game, and Grandpa and Grandma. It's really special.
Well, Carver, it's a family reunion in the tunnel after every
it
game.
Is.
I mean,
we got
one way in, one way out.
The whole family.
I have to wait for the tunnel to clear out because all the Sanfords are.
It's just crowded. Yeah.
Wait to get out of the elevator.
Good thing.
Yeah.
On that note, Marty on email hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Marty in Marion says or asks, if the Sanford brothers had a 3-point shooting contest, who do you think would win? Now, I don't know if you're asking me, Marty. Right now, I'm going with the senior. I'm going with Peyton, but I'm challenging Price. So you've had a few shooting contests with them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much every day growing up. So it's crazy how much we get that question asked to us, and it's the same thing every time. We just say ourselves.
Do you have a backyard court or a driveway court?
So we had a driveway court, and then we had a indoor gym in our house as well.
Oh.
So I think that's, Grandpa and Dad, giving us shooting lessons inside the house.
Oh, yeah.
All year round. I think
round.
That's a big part of our shooting abilities now. So, yeah.
So you get back.
We had one too, but the ceiling was only 8 foot high.
You can't really shoot threes in our gym. Yeah, it was more mid-range, and maybe when we were little we could shoot there, but now it's like it's hitting the ceiling every time. So
I've always envisioned Torrey Taylor trying to punt in the old bubble.
Before
they tore that down. He put a hole in the roof before. Did you see him yesterday? I think he had a 58-yard average.
Unbelievable.
He was once again the star, and in other ways a pathetic season for the Bears. But back to basketball. So you get back Saturday night. Sunday it's a review of the tape and conversation with Coach. What'd you guys learn from that session?
We went over it today, actually. We had an off day yesterday, which was nice. Get some rest. We learned, we can't have those lulls that we had. We got down big right away, and we were fighting to get out of that the whole game. But I think we also learned, how gritty of a team we are. Like I've said, it shows a lot about our character, and we're never going to give up. So.
Well, growing up in Waukee, you understand the Iowa State series.
Oh yeah.
What are your general thoughts?
I actually grew up an Iowa State fan, so I was always cheering against the Hawkeyes.
Wow, we learned something new tonight, Bobby.
Now I cannot stand them.
Misguided youth.
I cannot stand them.
Cannot stand them.
Nope. So I know what it means to the state, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, at what point in your, I'm assuming either junior high or high school career, did you switch allegiance from Iowa State to Iowa?
It was probably whenever Peyton committed, so my freshman going into sophomore year.
A little pressure there, right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys collectively are a delight to watch. But I also detect that brotherly. I grew up with 7 kids. I had 3 brothers. I was one of 4 boys. That brotherly competitiveness. Is there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you came to a practice and watched, you could see it there. You can see it on the floor a little bit. If I'm not being aggressive like I should, or Peyton's doing the same thing, we'll kind of get on each other, and we just hold each other to a higher standard because we've been playing together for so long. So.
And what I've noticed, when he makes a pass to you, you usually make the shot.
I don't think I've missed a 3 where he's like made a one more or something. I had 2 in the game at Michigan from him. So I make most of them. I give that.
Big brother gives you that look.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, don't miss.
Yeah, I know.
So. First blush, without giving away the game plan, what about Thursday night? What's key?
They're a very physical defensive team. We got to really handle the pressure, not turn it over, really move the ball. If we can move it, I think we'll get good shots. So.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming out tonight. Go enjoy your piping hot, delicious meal.
Yeah, absolutely. Will do. All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Nice job. Bryce Sanford, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have Bryce here tonight. He and Peyton are so critical to Iowa's success this year, tonight, and going forward. The Hawkeyes and Iowa State coming up on Thursday night. Again, that's a 6:30 tip-off, and we'll be on the air at 5:30 with the Hawkeye pregame coverage on the network. Tonight we're at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing here in Coralville, and we're enjoying the tasty fare and the delicious drinks in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk from Learfield. Back in a minute.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you get an HMO network that includes over 32,000 providers. Plus, you get support from a company that's been serving Iowans for 85 years. Now, those are some impressive numbers, and that's health coverage you can feel confident in. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
I'm Wyatt Black, defensive line, Iowa. On the field, I take on double teams, stop the run, and sack the quarterback.
Sullivan now runs for his life, and he's obliterated by Y.A. Black. Here's the snap, the spot.
Yes, and it's blocked it. Kick is back to the line of scrimmage. Don't touch the ball.
Hawks get it back. Y.A. Black, God, man, what a momentum shift there.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
It's great to have Bryce Sanford and a Hawkeye player each and every week with us here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Of course, the headliner is in the building now. Coach McCaffery has joined Bobby Hansen and yours truly, Gary Dolphin. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency and the Iowa River Landing here in Coralville. Monday night, a balmy Monday night. I bring that up because it's going to change in a hurry. We're getting back to what Big Ten basketball weather is all about here in the next day or two. Coach, great effort. Other than the start, you got down early Saturday at Michigan, getting your feet underneath you, and boy, the guys roared back, led by the bench. Owen got in early foul trouble, but in the end, your overall thoughts on the 2-point deficit that ended up at Michigan?
Yeah, you can't spot them 20-4 on the road. That makes it hard. Foul trouble in the first half. You also made it hard. Mm-hmm. Owen was out, Peyton was out, Brock was out at some point. Owen missed about 18 minutes. But like you said, Dolphin, we had some guys step up. played really well. We got a ton of points off the bench. Price was terrific. Drew Thielwell was terrific. I thought Riley and Evan and Chris were solid. Chris gave us some really valuable minutes. So, I think from that standpoint, you got to be happy with those guys. But our shot selection early was not good at all. And then we figured that out and, came back and tied the score.
And the ability to not turn the ball over, Fran, and you turned them over 17 times, that was amazing. You got the press working a little bit, and if that team has a tough spot at Achilles' heel, it's their turnovers, and you exploited that a little bit.
We did. We turned them over. We didn't turn it over. We got out-rebounded, which makes it really hard. As you know, you get out-rebounded by 15, you're probably going to lose, but we had 15 offensive rebounds. So it was kind of a weird game statistically. You think, okay, if you only turn it over 4 times, they turn it over 21, and you have 15 offensive rebounds, you're probably going to win. But not if they out-rebound you by 15, and then we shoot it as poorly as we did in the first half and get in foul trouble like that. So you just got to stay the course, stay in the fight, and, I'm really pleased with that. Those guys hung in there and really started executing well down the stretch.
Yeah, talk about the fouls on Owen. Do you sit with him and look at the tape and say, right here, the first one wasn't a foul. It was a traveling.
Well, the first one was a foul because he grabbed his shirt.
The first one in the post?
Yeah, and it was right in front of the ref. He grabbed his shirt and pulled him. Oh. That's why he traveled. So
he stumbled, no doubt.
It was a foul, but it was a foul on Owen. All right, so the score is 3-2. Don't commit your second foul. The game is not on the line. It's 3-2. There are 39 minutes to go. Don't foul.
And he did.
And he did. So he feels worse than anybody else. He's a wonderful kid.
Oftentimes the second foul comes because you're so frustrated after the first one.
We didn't play the out-of-bounds play well, but it's not his fault. I mean, everybody took off, and what you're supposed to do, because we're in a zone, you stay in front, you can trade off. If they want to go out to the corner, they want to go to the top, make them throw it over the top. Make sure you're there on the catch, but nothing to the front of the rim. The kid cuts to the front of the rim, and Owen kind of gets caught between. Do I block it? Do I tall up? Just tall up. You're the primary defender. If he scores, he scores. Now it's 5-2. We'll be okay.
Coach, what about the goaltending at the end? They spent a day and a half reviewing that thing.
It's a flaw in the rule, Dolph.
It's what?
It's a flaw in the rule. It drives me crazy that they haven't fixed it. The only way you can review it is if you call it. So they call it so they can review it. Which I have no problem with. Okay. But then you can't say, well, I need irrefutable evidence to overturn it, because you only called it so you could review it. You didn't call it because you necessarily thought it was goaltending. So it's a flaw in the rule. And
a little bit of a delayed call?
What's that?
Was that call delayed a little bit, like a double whistle?
Well, what he did was the play was over. They got the rebound. That's the other thing. So even if it's not a goaltend, they would have had the ball out of bounds under with 4 seconds or whatever. So we still would have had to get another stop. But I thought we got a pretty decent look. I thought, easily could have been a foul there on Price.
That's a shot.
I mean, it's a play that is never called consistently. No. Are you in his cylinder or not? The kid was in his cylinder. The kid didn't let him land where he took off. By rule, that's a foul.
3 free throws coming to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, now here's the thing. He still has to make 3 free throws.
Yeah.
If he misses 2, we lose. If he makes 2, we go to overtime. If he makes 3, we win.
Price, do you make 3?
He's shaking his head.
I'll tell you what, I would have put my monty on that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. And I don't bet. I would have bet that.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. Better not. It's against the rules. You might get arrested.
How about the overall free throw shooting, Coach? You get a little extra practice today? That guy's missing free throws. I don't expect him to miss.
Yeah, we missed some free throws we normally would make. And that, when you're coming back, that complicates things, obviously. You need every point. When you're coming back and you're down 10 or 11 or whatever, every point matters. You got to get it to okay. It's a 5-possession game. It's a 3-possession game. It's a 1-possession game. Well, it's not a one-possession game. It's a two-possession game or a three-possession game because you missed 2 front ends or you missed 2 back ends. So, yeah, we worked on it today.
Coach, counting Northwestern and Michigan, Brock Harding is his floor game has been so spectacular, consistent as well. And as you know, a point guard, if he scores, that's a bonus. But he's been such a great distributor of the basketball, not turning it over more often than not. Describe his play. Where has he matured, in your view, to give
he's doing
most
great.
value?
He needs to be a little bit better. We talked to him about being a home run hitter. You don't have to hit a home run every time up. Nobody's going to take it from him. He can get anywhere he wants on the floor at any time. You can trap him. You can pressure him. You can put a big guy on him. You can put a quick guy on him. If he wants to get to the block, if he wants to get to the lane, if he wants to get to the corner, he can get there. And he is going to find somebody. But sometimes when the ball swings to you, just swing it. Just move it. You don't have to attack the defender and create something that is maybe not there. And he's getting much better at that. I mean, his assist turnover numbers have to be among the tops in the country. I don't know where he sits, but he's got to be up there near the top in the nation, I would think.
The team's the best in the Big Ten and top 10 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio.
And that's primarily because of him and Drew.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the guys aren't big turnover guys. Sanford, both Sanfords are very good in that area.
Josh takes care of the
is
ball.
terrific. He never turns it over.
Season low, 4 turnovers for the Hawks on Saturday. More of the same, please, Thursday. Coach, let's go to Twitter. Drew Thelwell played a great first half against Michigan when Brock was in foul trouble and was instrumental in closing the points gap. How I think he only played 4 minutes in the second. However,
he probably should have got more. But
did he get injured? That was the question.
He's not injured.
Okay, good.
I thought Price really had it going. We went with Price and Brock and Josh and Peyton and a big. You had to have at least one big because they had 2. So, I was trying to figure out a way to get him in there a little bit more. We'll get him in there more on Thursday.
3 counting Cheddar. I mean, Cheddar was a big boost for them off the bench. He
hit the 3 out of the corner in transition.
Yeah.
Riley didn't get out to him. Riley ran back to the paint. Riley, there's nobody there. Go to the guy in the corner. And Riley was really good, but those are the kinds of things when you're trying to make a comeback, you got to get out to the corner. Especially, if he's a non-shooter, then stay right in the lane and hope he shoots.
For
but
sure.
Not him.
David on Twitter, why is the free throw shooting down this season? The only reason I bring that up, thank you, David. Your teams have always been outstanding at the free throw line.
Yeah, we'll get better. I think Owen is a good foul shooter. He's not shooting well right now, but he'll get there. He had a great day today from the line.
How much is it a conversation? You can't wave a magic wand and say go make free throws. I mean, it's a 50.
No, you just got to you got to practice, and you got to get your confidence back.
Feltz, it must be a nickname, Felts. Thank you, Feltz. Have you ever worn a bow tie like Sherman?
No.
We've never had that question before.
The answer is no.
I couldn't resist. You've never worn, even First Communion?
Never.
Never worn a bow tie, even in Philly?
No, I have mirrors in my house.
Translation?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom in West Des Moines.
You know what, though? Sherm can pull it off.
Well, he's GQ.
Sherm can pull it off.
He's Mr. GQ.
Yeah, so we leave the bow ties to Sherm, but he can pull it off.
So the next question is, will we ever see a suit?
Well, I don't even know if we're going to do suits and sneaks this year, but Sherm can go from bow tie to cowboy boots.
Can he tie a tie? I'm sure he can.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, quite honestly, that was problematic for our guys. When we used to go with coats and ties on the road, we had some guys that really struggled with that. Luckily, you can look it up on your phone.
The double knot.
It tells you how to tie a tie.
Google it.
I forgot.
Patrick was the worst.
Give him a clip on.
I would tie it for him at the beginning of the year, and he would keep it tied the whole season.
All right, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Kirk Ferentz has 2 black and gold ties, opposite stripes, for the old TV shows, and they're both hanging on the back of his door.
Yeah.
Coach,
you never know when you're going to need one.
Well, exactly. 2 sport coats, and two ties.
I like the warm-up, so that's a better look.
Oh, it's much more comfortable, too.
Yeah.
It really is.
Craig, Coach, can you comment on Riley's play this year? He's been really impressive when needed, the last few games especially.
Yeah, he's had some injury and sickness issues, so his availability isn't always what you think. So sometimes why is Riley going in? Well, he's not available. So he was good Saturday. I'm proud of him.
Speaking of available, we know Drew Seydou Traore and Cooper Koch would help the rebounding woes of late immensely. Cooper doesn't sound like he's going to be back in the near term. What about Seydou, the update there?
I think there's a chance for Seydou, and there's a chance for Coop. Well, it'll all be decided in the next couple of days.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
On that note, positive note, we'll take a break, come back with more with Coach McCaffery. We're at the Hyatt Regency. You're invited to come on out each and every Monday night, and even tonight. We're here until 8:30. You got time to come on out because the double bubble, the cocktail hour, always is extended at the Hyatt Regency on Hawk Talk night. Don't forget about the December 14th breakfast with Santa. Family-friendly holiday breakfast, including a photo with the Clauses, a holiday craft fair, and everybody's favorite breakfast foods. You can grab tickets from the Hyatt Regency Coralville Facebook page or by calling them at 319-688-4028. 319-688-4028. Of course, this is Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series Week. We're going to hear from Iowa Corn Promotion Board President Ralph Lentz a little bit later on in the program. Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. Thank you, Iowa corn farmers, who lead the nation in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org and learn how corn grows Iowa. And we're sponsored by the University of Iowa Healthcare. Here for you, no matter where you are in the state, changing medicine and changing lives for all of Iowa and beyond. Visit uihealthcare.org. This is Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank, simply better banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with these local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes, located in the Des Moines area, Car Law, Community Choice Credit Union, and Royal Flooring. Royal Flooring is your one-stop shop for the finest things in your home. Find the best material from the most trusted brands in our beautiful, fully stocked showroom in Urbandale, or shop in comfort online at shoproyalflooring.com.
Welcome back. Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency and the tastefully remodeled Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt. Come on out this holiday. Bring your holiday party to the Hyatt Regency. Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen, our engineer-producer Corey Sheets, and we're with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Before we go back to Twitter, Facebook, email, and texting, Coach, a snapshot of the Cyclones are up to number 3 on the poll this week. They are legitimate, aren't they?
Yeah, you know what else, Dolph? They're deep. They got a lot of weapons. So they go to their bench. They got scoring punch off the bench. They've got size. Veteran group, they've got tremendous players, but also, I think it starts with Lipsy. He's the leader. He's the general. He makes it go. And he's got some guys that'll go with him. So, you gotta be able to take care of the basketball, move it, get good shots, get your defense back. They're really pushing the ball. They've got a lot of speed, and they did really well out in Maui. I mean, I thought they had the Auburn game won. It was crazy ending, but played really well and then did really well in the next 2 games. But I think the real impressive win was the one over Marquette. It was at home still, but Marquette's really good.
They are.
They beat Marquette by 11.
Yeah, the guard they got, Cam Jones.
He's good.
He's good, and I think the Heisey kid, you and I transfer, he got into him physically and made it tough on Jones. What I saw a little bit of highlights.
Yeah, I mean they get into everybody. Yeah, it wasn't just that. I mean that's how they play, and you got to be ready for it.
Gilbert's had some big games.
Gilbert's a pro.
Where's he improved?
He's a pro. I mean, that guy, he's fabulous in the open floor. He can play at half court. He can score in a variety of ways. Plays hard. Really competes. He's a handful.
You had Montilovich under control for a lot of that first half, early second half last year over at Ames. He hit some big shots in that second half. But
he's a really good player. I mean, he's got some versatility. He's got size. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot the turnaround jumper. And he gives it up. Those guys play very unselfishly.
Cy-Hawk Series this week. The Hawkeye women entertain Iowa State at Carver at 8 o'clock Wednesday night. And then the Hawkeye men and the Cyclones go to battle at 6:30 Thursday night, 5:30 for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Let's go to Facebook. Fran, Jeff says, hi, Coach. How do you approach the different schedule this year with a January West Coast trip on Tuesday, USC, Friday, UCLA, plus a February East Coast trip, Rutgers, Wednesday, Maryland, Sunday? Those are long weeks away from Iowa City. Good luck. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, when we go to West Coast, we'll stay the whole time. So we'll go out early and play and stay out there and play the second one. And when we go east, we're coming back. So we'll come back after the first one, then we'll go back. Yeah.
Bobby, on your NBA, you had some long road trips in those days. How did you stay focused? How do you pace yourself? Practice is important, I know.
Well, number one thing, you're a lot younger than we are, so you're just running on energy, I guess. But we used to take them 2-week road trips. Frank Layden in Utah, he always requested right before Christmas that we would go east. So we'd be out there in New York City and Boston and beautiful cities and Philadelphia and all lit up. And hopefully you'd catch those teams shopping, Frank liked to say, or going to Christmas parties, and maybe you can sneak a few out there. But, yeah, it's a business trip, no doubt about it. It's just you got to take care of business. You got to protect your energy, and hopefully to go out and, get a split here and there and see what you can get. The NBA is 82 games, Dolphin. You're playing a ton of basketball, but we didn't travel by charter back then. We traveled, Delta Airlines, commercial, yeah. So you're catching some early morning flights and getting there where you can.
Coach, it's the world we live in today.
Yeah, I mean, we got teams from both coasts. You never thought you'd see that, but you just play the schedule you're given. Travel, and we do charter, which is nice. The kids still have to go to class. That's why we're coming back the one time. The other one's over the break, so we can stay out.
On the way down today, I was listening to the radio and heard that they're already the transfer portal open today. There's already 550 athletes in the transfer portal. It's just it's mind-boggling.
Well, that number's going up. You know that. I just think it's disappointing that you have guys that opt out when your team is still playing. Well, we've decided it's a meaningless game. Well, no, it's not. It's a bowl game that you've earned. But, I think what most coaches have done is value that opportunity to grow as a team moving forward. So you have extra practice time. You play different guys at different positions to give young guys a chance. Who's going to be your quarterback, moving forward. Because it might be somebody you get out of the portal, but it might be somebody that you have in your program or somebody that you want to look at in your program. So, it's just not like it used to be where, everybody went and that's what you were supposed to do and you go, there will be other tournaments in basketball, NIT, and then there's going to be another one this year that will be competing with the NIT. And you deal with that with the transfer portal. The guys opt out, the guys stay in. Our guys stayed in last year, which was really good. Even the guys who left, they stayed in and played.
I listened to something driving home today. Deion Sanders said, all my guys are playing. He said, one guy might be carrying the Heisman Trophy with him, and he's going to be playing. And the other guy's a quarterback of the country. He'll be playing.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Right on, Deion.
Good for him.
Good for Deion.
Maybe they're getting a little extra cash.
It's the world we live in now.
You think?
Maybe a little extra cash.
No,
you win?
No.
I'll play.
I'm in.
Count me in.
Before we go to break, on that note, Luke in Burlington wants to know if there are any pets in the McCaffery household. I heard someone ask Coach Ferentz the same question a few months ago, and he forgot his pets' names.
Well, I don't have to remember my pets' names because we don't have any pets.
Never?
Never.
You didn't grow up with a dog?
Did not grow up with a dog. No, dogs weren't allowed.
Okay.
Our neighbor had a dog.
Okay.
And so he was kind of like our dog, but he was nuts.
Give him back.
My neighbor across the street has a nutty dog. Hilarious.
I love dogs. I got two. Yeah. I love Frank and Vito.
Well,
they're listening to the show right now. I guarantee you.
If you grew up with one, it just becomes part of who you are.
Yeah,
it does.
Like my best friend has one. I swear, it's like his child. And
then they get sick, and you put them down, and it's like,
oh, everybody cries. Coach McLeod was that way. He used to have Newfoundlands.
Yeah.
Those big
black dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're big as a house.
Yeah. And he always had those, and they were gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but very protective.
Coach McLeod, you said, John?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they're a great escape.
Mary and I were hiking one time in Colorado, Kearney's area out there. And she's like, I'm not going any further. I'm not going any further. There's bears around here. I'm like, ain't no bears. It's a hiking trail to Beaver Lake, right? So I turn around. Here comes this big Newfoundland off his leash, bounding up the thing. I about jumped into the Beaver Creek to escape.
You could have jumped in front of your wife, Bobby. That might have been a good idea.
Put her in front, maybe.
You got behind Mary.
Yeah. I thought it was a bear cub coming up, man.
That's a sitcom waiting to happen.
The lady apologized, felt terrible. I should have had it on a leash. It's like, you gave me a heart attack, but let's see that dog. Come here.
Yeah.
I love the dogs. They see you. They
big
just,
black
the tails wagging, tongues hanging out. They
slobber everywhere.
On that note, we'll take a break. Let's pause 10 seconds first, though, for station identification. 10-second ID break here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from the Hyatt Regency. And we're coming back with more of your text messages, Facebook questions. Twitter page, all ahead here. We got a half an hour to go. We've got a U.S. Bank scoreboard update in just a minute, and we're going to hear from the folks at Iowa Corn. That's straight ahead here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from the Hyatt Regency in Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffery. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides the direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
At MidAmerican Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Give Fran and Bobby a couple minutes off here while we update you with the U.S. Bank scoreboard. And we're going to hear from Ralph Lentz, Iowa Corn Promotion Board president, here in just a minute. It is, after all, the Cy-Hawk Series this week with Iowa and Iowa State. We're sponsored by U.S. Cellular. As a proud sponsor of the Hawkeyes, U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us. And by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They know that quality coverage takes a great team. And with a Wellmark individual and family health plan, you'll get the coverage you need with the doctors you want. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. On the U.S. Bank scoreboard, one final in the Big Ten. There was just one game in the Big Ten tonight, a light night for college basketball. The Indiana Hoosiers at home defeated the Minnesota Golden Gophers by 15, 82-67. Indiana over Minnesota in men's basketball in Assembly Hall, 82-67. There is Monday Night Football, of course. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's a 7-7 game. 5 minutes gone in the second period down in Big D. Dallas 7 and Joe Burrows and the Bengals 7. That's our U.S. Bank scoreboard update. U.S. Bank is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeyes. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. It is the Cy-Hawk Series this week. Iowa State square off in men's and women's basketball. And we thank the Iowa Corn Promotion Board and Iowa Corn for their continued support and sponsorship of this great in-state rivalry. Ralph Lentz is president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Ralph has farmed for 45 years just outside Greenfield over in Adair County, producing corn, beans, and beef cattle with his brother and nephew. I visited with Ralph earlier today, and we praised Iowa's corn farmers for their supervision of the land while producing food, fuel, and conservation practices. Lentz, in particularly, praised corn-based ethanol that's cleaner, cheaper, and homegrown.
We got a lot of ethanol plants here, and it requires a lot of corn to be grown here. So we're very friendly ethanol, and other sources of corn usage. There's over 4,000 uses, products made out of corn. A lot of livestock here in Iowa. Iowa's number one in a lot of livestock areas too. So it takes a lot of corn to make Iowa grow.
Back to ethanol, it's a renewable fuel. It's cleaner, it's cheaper, it's homegrown. It's a clear choice at the pump. Unleaded 88 for your drive to and from the game. Quite a significant cost savings when you fill up fuel up with unleaded 88.
I agree. It's cheaper, it's environmental friendly, and it's homegrown. But it's a product that we win on all three sides. Pump it up with 88 everybody needs to try that and get educated, because it works on any vehicle, 2001 and newer. So it would fit just about in anybody's vehicle.
Ralph, more than 97% of Iowa's farms are family owned. And a desire to continue that legacy motivates our farmers to leave the land in a better place than they found it. Doing so requires the utmost care of our water and soil, and nobody's more conscious of that than the Iowa farmer.
Oh, I'd agree with that. We're all very aware of our water quality, and we're trying to do things all the time to make it a better water source. We're reducing fertilizer usage to grow more. We're doing conservation practices, cover crops. We're doing a lot of different things and making this thing work, but we are making some strides in improving our water quality and keeping our soil underground.
Ralph, tonight's game is part of the 13th year of the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. My goodness, it's been around a long time. It's great competition between Iowa and Iowa State and the athletic departments, the academic achievements. This, of course, is Iowa's biggest in-state rivalry, and I know Iowa Corn loves to be a part of it.
Yeah. During the football game, we determined that over 70% of the Iowans returned into the game. So basketball, maybe we'll get some similar numbers, but that's quite a few Iowans that really appreciate and support this series.
By the way, for more information on the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series, go to iowacorn.org/Cy-Hawk and follow Iowa Corn on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Ralph, what's new technology-wise on the farm that helps benefit the production of Iowa corn?
We're doing a lot of work with GPS and everything. We're looking at our fields from up above, and you can pick out your spots that aren't yielding as well. So therefore, we're doing a variable rate when we fertilizer things. The good ground gets better rates. The lighter ground gets smaller rates. We get less runoff with that. Doing more conservation practices, and we're just trying to do a better job of controlling our ground and our water.
From your tailgate spread, meat, dairy, or eggs, you're supporting homegrown corn, that bag of chips, even those adult beverages are part of Iowa Corn. When you visit a grocery store, you can find corn in more than 4,000 products.
It is amazing, but when you really get down and look at things, corn is everywhere, and it's in everything. We're doing a tremendous job of trying to find more uses for our corn products. We're doing some things with plastics right now. We're trying to get a real biodegradable plastic, so when you use it, it will degrade by itself in landfills. It won't be like those plastic grocery bags. And we're making some headway with that.
Indeed. Iowa Corn Promotion Board President Ralph Lentz. Thank you, Ralph, who added that the yields this year are great. It's another bin-busting harvest, but the farmer needs a boost in price per bushel. We hope that's coming down the road. Thank you, Ralph Lentz and Iowa Corn. We're back with Coach McCaffery the rest of the way here in just a minute when we return to the Hyatt Regency on Hawk Talk with Coach Mack and Learfield.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding, party, or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe in having healthy relationships with our phones, so we can have better relationships with each other. Introducing Us Mode, a way to set your phone for less distraction and deeper connection. So dinner can sound less like this and more like this.
What'd you learn today?
The sauropod was the tallest dinosaur ever.
Oh my goodness.
Visit U.S. Cellular in-store or online, and we'll help set your phone to Us Mode, even if you're not a customer. U.S. Cellular, the 5G network built for us. See uscellular.com for details.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
People are having a hard time containing their excitement about the new Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery.
Holiday tickets? I love these!
Especially when they find out you can win part of over $1 million in second chance cash prizes when you enter any holiday ticket in the Iowa Lottery's VIP club.
$1 million? Woohoo!
Yes, woohoo indeed. Cash prizes are coming to town from the Iowa Lottery.
Woohoo!
See rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Quinn Schulte, I play safety here at the University of Iowa. On the field, I stop the run, I make the tackle, and I get interceptions.
Rosmer to throw, has time.
Yes,
It's deflected, intercepted again by Quinn Schulte. He's running the other way at the 40-yard line. Hawks have another turnover. We're going to slam the lid, hopefully down. Here's an interception. That'll do it. And it's Quinn Schulte. And down there, the Hawkeyes will have first and goal.
Off the field, I help my body's defense by choosing vaccines that are right for me. Ask your doctor or healthcare provider which vaccines are right for you.
A message from Iowa HHS.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
All right, we're back with Coach McCaffery. Iowa State Thursday night. Thank you for coming out here to the Hyatt. Thank you for listening in on the Hawkeye Radio Network, 55 stations strong. We're at the Hyatt Regency in the Coralville Watermill Kitchen and Bar, and you can come out and watch the show live each week. They're offering an extended happy hour, including $1 wings, $3 drafts and domestics, and $5 house wines. Come on down to the Watermill Kitchen and Bar anytime this season for Hawk Talk, and join us for a great evening of Iowa basketball. Hawk Talk. Coach, let's go back to the U.S. Cellular text line. Rick is in Vinton. He watched Butler play for the first time since Patrick joined them. He looked great. It doesn't say what game he viewed, but Patrick really played well. How has his adjustment been going down in Indianapolis?
It's been great. I mean, they have a great staff. Obviously, Connor's on it, but you know, we've talked before. I mean, Thad Mott is a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Good coach.
Maurice Joseph, I know him really well. John Diebler, we've coached against him.
Former Buckeye.
Know he and his brother Jake. So they got a really Mike Begeese, Alex Barlow. They got a really good staff. They care about basketball. You know, that's a basketball school. They play in Hinkle Fieldhouse, in a basketball town. But it's been a good fit for him, Dolph. I mean, the way they use him, what they needed, as you know, you look at who you got in the freshman class and who you're going to get out of the portal and what you have back, and you put your team together. They went after him hard, and they knew he would be a good fit, and he has been. And he's happy. I'm thrilled for him.
Thad obviously has been around the coaching block a few times, did a great job at Ohio State. looks like he's still enjoying coaching.
He loves it. I got a chance, as you know, to spend some time with him out in Phoenix. We had a week off before we played Northwestern, and they were playing out there. So I hadn't had a chance to see Patrick, so we flew out there to watch him. And I spent a couple days, with their staff and went to their shoot around and went to breakfast and talked to the coaches. It was great. And, he's just a terrific guy.
He is.
And did unbelievably well at Butler before, at Xavier, at Ohio State. Then, people forget he was on the staff at Indiana for a year or two. He was a consultant to Mike when Mike first got hired. And, he's a Butler grad. His wife went to Butler. His daughter goes there. And
great school
he lives
academically.
Right near campus. And it's just perfect for he and his family.
Practiced there a few times when we went down to the Big Ten tournament at Butler.
Yeah, we practiced there when they canceled the tournament the next day.
Oh, that's right, COVID.
Yeah, we were there.
At historic Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
Forgot about that, Coach. Joe in Cedar Rapids, still on the McCaffery family. Do you think Patrick or Jack will want to get into coaching after their playing days are over?
Hope not.
I knew that was coming.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
That was, you just laid that one up, right?
I teed you up on that one, Coach. All right, let's go to Ed in Wilton. Wants to know how much contact you have these days with Luka Garza, and is he playing full-time in the NBA with Minnesota, or does he play D-League as well?
No G-League for him. He's a full-fledged member of the team. He's not playing a lot, and I don't understand why, because I should understand. They have some other guys that are good at that position. So if anybody gets injured, he'll be in there. But like when he does play, he really produces like big numbers. Not like he makes a bucket here and a rebound there. Like if you play him 12 minutes, he'll have 12 points and 6 rebounds. And that's the kind of numbers he puts up. And he just destroyed the G League. I mean, it was a joke.
He did.
Yeah. 40 and 20 every night. It was like a waste of time. So the bottom line is he's got a 2-year deal, and he's working towards having a number of years in the league, get his pension, and he'll be in that league for 12, 14 years.
He signed a few 10-day contracts in his time. He's made some good coin there back and forth from the G League to the big league. And
but he's been on he hasn't really had to sign any 10 days. He signs 2 ways a couple of times, but then they sign him for the rest of the year. And then before this year, they signed him to a full deal. So that was good.
I watched him the other night. He got in at the end of the game and immediately got a basket.
Always.
Yeah, it's like, boom, easy turn around.
He will sprint the floor and follow anything up. He'll sprint the floor and post deep. He'll pop out and hit a 3. I mean, if you post him up on anybody, we used to say, if anybody 6'7" or below is trying to guard him, he will score 100% of the time. So if you have the ball and he's got a 6'7" or 6'8" guy on him, throw it to Luka.
Well, Bill Cartwright told me the guy will score 40 if you play him.
Yeah.
These guys don't play defense on a guy in the post.
No,
I said, I know.
They don't even post guys up anymore.
No, 5 out.
5 out, screen roll.
Get the mismatch.
Go one-on-one. Get the matchup you want and go.
Has he been out, 4 years? Is this his 4th year?
Could be. I think it's year 4.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how time flies. My goodness. Keep it up, Luka. We got one break remaining. Let's take that right now. We'll come back and wrap up this week's show on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We're live at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing out in Coralville. You're welcome to come out and join us. We'll be here for the next 3 or 4 Monday nights right up until the Christmas and New Year's holiday, and we'll talk more about that before we say goodnight. Back with more on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency with Coach McCaffery and Learfield in just a minute.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Midwest One believed in us and gave us the money to get started, and it was great.
We're talking with Jack Piper of Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack.
In 2005, they were there when we opened Jimmy Jack's Rib Shack. They've been there every step of the way with funding and great feedback on how to expand our brand. Midwest One Bank has been great, and with the recent uncertain times, we got through it, thanks to Midwest One Bank.
Midwest One Bank. Simply better banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
When you live in the Midwest, you're accustomed to leading the nation in certain things, from corn and pork production to eggs and soybeans. And now we're adding another product to that list, clean, renewable wind energy. By investing in wind turbines and partnering with area farmers and landowners, Mid-American Energy is harvesting wind power that's homegrown right in our very own backyard, which not only provides customers with low, stable energy rates, but also the support to make our Midwest communities safer and stronger.
Time now for the Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield Health Coverage Report. When you enroll in a Wellmark individual or family health plan, you get an HMO network that includes over 32,000 providers. Plus, you get support from a company that's been serving Iowans for 85 years. Now, those are some impressive numbers, and that's health coverage you can feel confident in. Find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. Enrollment ends January 15th.
About 5 minutes left in tonight's program. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Grill and Bar. A beautiful evening in Iowa City and Johnson County. I know the temperature's going to drop. That's more like it for December with the holidays coming. Hawkeyes, it'll be toasty in Carver Hawkeye Arena coming up on Thursday when the Hawks entertain the Iowa State Cyclones. Again, 5:30 for the pregame, 6:30 for the tip-off, and more on that in just a moment. Coach, on Facebook, Coach McCaffery, do you put more emphasis on a big rival or a highly ranked team than others?
We put emphasis on our next opponent.
Well said.
I mean, that's it. We don't treat Iowa State any differently than we did South Carolina upstate, and that is absolutely no disrespect at all to Iowa State, and I bet you that TJ would answer the question in the same way.
Jackson State
yesterday, they were ready. They were prepared. Let's get a W and let's move on. Obviously, when you're playing a ranked opponent, you respect, what they've done, who they have, and understand, all right, the level of intensity, and the game will be a little bit different in that regard. So everybody understands that, but you still got to keep your wits about you out there and stay the course.
Well, and in Iowa State, you have both a big rival and a highly ranked team.
Yeah.
The Cyclones, very, very good under TJ Hasselberger this season. Hey, the Hawkeyes are bowl eligible now. We know Iowa. Coach Ferris, congratulations to the Hawks. They head to the Music City Bowl in Nashville. You can find official bowl information, including air travel, motor coach, and land-only packages at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. Presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited, Iowa's official bowl travel tour hosts. One more before we have to say goodnight, Coach. This is an email on Hawk Talk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Connie in Albia, do you think the NCAA will ever expand beyond, what are they, 68 teams now? She said 64. They're at 68. Would you approve if they did?
I think they will, and I would approve. Yeah. I mean, there's so many good teams, and it's hard. You go conference to conference. Now you have the power conferences with 18 teams. I think I think we're headed in the direction where there'll be more. I don't think it's going to be a dramatically different number, but there's going to be more.
I mean, there's room for more. Just another day in Dayton, isn't it?
We could go to 96.
Yeah.
You know, and I said publicly before, like, let's just combine the NIT and the NCAA. NCAA owns it.
That's a good point.
Go to 96 and go an extra week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you'd have to change the whole schedule because TV works on the NCAA tournament right into the Masters.
To the Masters,
so you'd have to back it up a little bit. But I'd like to see it go to 96.
Well, I remember.
I don't think it will, but I would like to.
I remember back in the 60s with Kentucky and Iowa, or Don Nelson was playing. I think, what was it, 32 teams? Might have been 16.
It was 16.
16 regional.
Remember Lefty Drizel's great Maryland teams. If you didn't win the conference tournament, you didn't get to go.
Yeah. I think the Big Ten was that way. You had to win the Big Ten championship to get to the NCAA.
Get in it.
Wow.
That's why the NIT was so good in those days.
Very good, indeed. Yeah. Well, it was probably rated ahead of the NCAA tournament.
For a long time 50s, it was.
Yeah. NYU, I know, was fighting for the title almost every year.
Yeah.
We're going to close out with the Midwest One Stat of the Week as the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Midwest One Bank is the proud partner of doers and entrepreneurs. Our teams are ready to help you reach your business goals. It's empowered money management. It's Midwest One Bank, member FDIC. And our Midwest One Stat of the Week, the Hawks have won 4 straight over Iowa State inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, winning by an average of 18.8 points. 18.5 points. Boy, we'd take that Thursday night. This includes a big victory in 2020 by a count of 105-77 and 75-56 in 2022. Hawkeyes have a tall task in front of them Thursday night, but they'll be up to the task. Coach, I bring that up as our Midwest One Stat of the Week because I think the announced crowd was around 8,000 last Tuesday night. That was allowed, 8,000 for Northwestern.
Well, you think about it, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not complaining about it, but, we show up at Michigan on Saturday, 2 o'clock. Great crowd. If we played at Saturday, 2 o'clock against Michigan, it would be a great crowd. We played Tuesday night, the same night that every high school basketball team in the state of Iowa is playing. It
was opening night, wasn't it?
It was opening night. So, there's, 1,000 to 2,500 people at 30 different locations within 30 miles of here. So that's going to affect your attendance. But, hey, you just show up and play. And that crowd, like you said, Dolph, was very much appreciated. They were awesome.
Indeed. And we hope to see a crowd like that on Thursday night. There are tickets available. Call 1-800-IA-HAWKS. We'd like to see Carver jammed full for the latest chapter in the Iowa Corn Cyhawk series of Iowa and Iowa State. Coach, thanks for coming out tonight. Good to see you.
Appreciate it, Dolph.
Bobby, thank you as always.
Thanks, Dolphy.
And thank you all for tuning in here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. 5:30 for the pregame show, 6:30 for tip-off. Iowa State. Doesn't get any better than that on Thursday. We're back here right next Monday night for Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with a Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit MidAmericanEnergy.com for electrical safety tips. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Visit MidwestOne.bank for empowered money management. Member FDIC. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. By your local Ford dealers. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.